Based on super secret intelligence photos from the Esseltine munitions factory, I will show you how to make version 1.5 of his battle tank. Not available anywhere. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our dollar and fold it in half, lengthwise. Open that up, and then we're going to put two water bomb bases next to each other. Fold edge to edge like that, and then fold the other way. And then while this flap is still folded, what I like to do is fold it over and put in this crease right along the edge of this paper, keeping this lined up with this edge. Line the crease up with this edge right here, and that will give us the base line of the next water bomb. You can go ahead and check that, and then while this, fold this over, and we can now use that to create the next water bomb. So we fold this edge to this edge. Open that up and fold the other edge to the folded edge. Go ahead and open that up and turn it over so we can put in the other crease in the water bomb base. Now, actually, we will only need to put in the crease for the water bomb base that has the extra bit of paper involved. So we'll just go ahead and find that center point where all the creases line up, and that's where our crease is going to go. And fold that, and we're going to go ahead and put in the crease that connects these two diagonal points running across here. So we'll fold that, looking for the crease right here, and that's where we're going to put that fold, lining up these edges, and put that crease in. So make sure you use this part, this crease where it hits the edge, as your reference point. Avoid the temptation to fold this to the center here to this crease, because it will be in the wrong spot. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to collapse the water bomb that has this extra flap to it. Just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this tip and we're going to fold it to the crease right here that we just made, making sure that we stay lined up with this center line crease. So we take that tip and we fold it to that line. Open that up, and now we're going to take each of these sides and fold those in to this center line. Go ahead and open those flaps up, and you should have a nice rectangular square, or rectangular with nice right angles crease pattern in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold this flap up along this crease here, and as we do that, we're going to fold these in on that crease that we just made. And you're going to have to invert these creases because the way we folded it, they go the opposite direction, but those creases will give you a nice guideline. Again, this will reach this center line crease, which you can't see but is in your paper. And you're gonna squash these down to a nice 45-degree angle like that. And of course we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna take this flap here, fold it on that crease that we made, bringing this edge to meet this edge, and you'll see I'll encourage this to make this nice 45-degree that. And so that's what we have at the moment. Now we're going to take these edges here and fold those in to this center crease. So fold this in and go ahead and just crease to this part right here. Don't crease all the way across. Let that stick up a little bit. And the same thing on this side. Of course, we're going to bring this edge to meet this center. So we have this, and we don't fold on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up, and we're going to take this part of our what will become the turret, and we're going to fold it along this crease right here. So we take this and we just make a little bit of a fold right there, open it back up, do the same the other side, where we're taking this edge of what will become the turret and fold it along this crease right here, and just crease it a little bit right there. Open that up, and so now when we bring these flaps in and start to fold this up, now where we're folding it is not on this crease right here. We're going to form a new crease where this diagonal meets this, which should be right along here. And so as we fold this together, and bring this up, you want to keep these sides down, and so we'll fold it, we'll create a new crease, see how we're keeping these down. We'll fold up, and we're creating a new crease right there, and so everything's sort of at a right angle right now. And then as we pull these in, we drop the turret at the same time, and so it should lay flat right along the center line with these triangles out like this. And I'll show that again so you can see what's going on. We have this line right here. You don't need to put that crease in there if you don't see it, because it's just from this point to this point. You can fold that over and just crease a little bit right here. Do the same thing on the other side, folding this over, putting a little bit of a crease here, opening it up. Of course, we've had those folds that we did already. And as we bring this up, see how these triangles want to come up? We don't want that to happen. We want them to lay flat. And so we put a new crease in here as we bring this up, keeping these at a right angle, more or less, here. So that as we're standing up here, we have everything nice and creased. And then we close this up as we drop the turret. And that's what we have there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this point right here, and we're going to fold it back along the edge of the turret. Go ahead and fold that back, making sure it lines up with the center crease. The point lines up with the center crease. nice sharp crease in there, because now we're going to sink that point. So just go ahead and open this up. Your turret might come a little bit unfolded, but that's okay. Actually, it probably helps if you unfold it a little bit. And here is that crease we just made. Let's go ahead and make that, reinforce those creases that we just made. And so we can push that down as a sink fold. And then go ahead and reform the turret. Your creases will already be there, so that should drop in nicely. And so that is now what we have. Really quickly again, we had the turret folded down after we collapsed it, folded this back, open that up, and now we just open up the model and we find the square creases that we just made by folding the tip back, pushing it down on those crease lines and sinking it, and then reforming the turret like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this up. Basically, we're going to do the reverse thing of what we just did when folding it down. We're going to fold it back up. So we're going to take these edges and fold them into the center line. And you'll notice as we do that, it pulls this paper up. So just go ahead and leave that without putting any creases in. And do the same thing on the other side, where we bring this edge to the center. Bring that edge to the center. And again, we're going to leave this unresolved for now, because what we're going to do is, again, we're going to flip this the other way. And as we do that, we're going to take this paper that we left unresolved, and we're going to line this edge up with this edge right here. So as we're standing it up, you can see how we're making this part line up with this part. Okay, so again, we're going to take this part of the paper here and we're going to line it up with this edge right here. So as we pull this up and close in on those folds, we make sure that that lines up right here. And as we close this and push it forward, what you're going to find on this side is that it's pulling these pieces, this part of the paper, up. It's not, folding a nice straight line, and that's okay. So just go ahead and allow that to fold where it wants to fold. And it might pull these edges out a little bit, and that's fine as you're getting a thicker layer of paper. So that's how that works, and it's good to just check to make sure that everything there lines up neatly. Those edges line up without going over, just so it's a neater look. And that's that part of the turret. And now just more of a design feature for this tank is to take this right on the edge of the border and fold it back. This is more of a to taste design feature. As you can see, it puts this, it shortens up the body of the tank and puts that using a $2 bill. See, it adds a little bit of a variation to the back of the tank, and so it's not absolutely necessary for the construction, but it makes it look nice. What we're going to do now is we're going to take this flap right here, we're going to take this edge and we're going to fold it so it matches this edge right here, doing a reverse fold right here. So just open this up a little bit and take this and match that. And it's going to get a little tricky here because you got a double layer of paper, so it may not do exactly what you want to do right away, but you want to fold it so that it lines up like this. There might be a temptation to, when you do this fold, to go ahead and push it all the way in so it looks like this, but that will get in the way later, so that's not what we want to do. What we want to do again is match this edge with this edge like this, just coming right up to here, and then making sure it folds down like this. And of course we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to take this edge here and line it up with this edge here. Creasing like that. And fold it down, matching like that. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to take this turret and we're just going to fold it. There's a natural hinge right here, so they'll just open like that. This is the here's the sink that we did. So we just open the turret like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to fold back like this. Now, this is a, right now it's folding back on a crease that we already have in the paper, but that is probably a little too, not the right spot where we want it to be at. What we're doing right now is we're going to fold the distance from this front part of the tank to the edge of the barrel, how far the barrel hangs over. If we just folded right here, that would push it really far into the tank, and that doesn't look as good as we'd like. So what we're going to do, and unfortunately you can't see it exactly on this because I don't have the pattern of the back of the bill on here, but basically you would just pull this back until the edge of the border of the bill lined up. Now again, this isn't the most exactly precise measurement anyway, so about there. But in this case, like on this, you can see there's the border, so I lined up. You can kind of see how it would line up. You can see how the front of this lines up right on the border. So that's what we're doing here. Okay, now that we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the tank over, and we're just going to fold this edge to the center, trying to make sure as much as possible that this doesn't, you know, creep. If you need to sort of help it get really tight along here, go ahead and fold this edge to the center. Like that. Open it up, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold this to that line that we just created. Of course, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Fold this to the line we just created. And then what we'd want to do is we want to split this segment right here. There's a couple ways you can do it. The easiest probably is to now just open this up and fold this edge to meet that edge, and that will. Now this right here probably won't line up exactly. It'll be a little, and that's okay. Just fold it, or that's not a big deal. So go ahead and open this back up. Open this up and fold this edge to the crease line here. Or if you fold this over, because you folded this to the crease line, that makes it really easy to see. where you're going with this open edge. Don't leave it folded like this. And again, it probably won't line up exactly right here. And what you'll have now is a nice kind of rounded-ish tank, which will eventually turn into the treads and the body of the tank. Okay, now that we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to take the back of the tank. Okay, there's the front, there's the back. And we have this crease here, and we have this second crease here. And that second crease is the one we're going to use right now, is we're just going to fold this back edge up to that crease. So just like that. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Find that second crease, and we're going to fold this to that crease line. And it's a little hard to see, but there's that crease line. So I just fold the back edge to that crease line, like that. And at the front of the tank, here, what we're going to do is we're going to use that crease line, again, as a reference point, and we're going to use this crease line as a reference point. And the way that's going to work is this is the crease line that we folded this here, so here's that crease line, and we're going to use that as a reference as the start of the crease. So just put a fingernail there and lift this up, and we're going to take this point here and we're going to lay it along the crease that's right here, and so that makes a corner like that. And of course the same thing on this side, where we have this crease, we have these two creases here. So we're going to use this crease here as a reference, and we're going to fold this point so that it meets this crease here. So again, I'm going to put my fingernail right at that crease and pull this like this until, and then rotate it until that point, until this point meets with this crease right here, like that. Then I'm just going to go ahead and fold this up on the crease already, just giving that a nice tight crease, creasing through these flaps that we just made. Okay. Now that I have that, what we're going to do is we're going to create the front edge of the tank, this part of the tank here that we bring down. Because right now we just created this part and this part, so right now we're going to create this indentation in the body of the tank. And the easy way to do that is, again, we're going to use the same crease that we've been using before as a reference point, and we're going to fold the front edge of the tank body along that crease, not creasing all the way, crease to, about this part of the tank. And I'll explain why we only put a bit of the crease in. And of course, we're going to do the same thing on this side, where we take the front end of the tank and we're going to fold it along this same crease here that we've been using as a reference point, so that you see how this comes to a point right here. That's this point right here. So I make that crease, and again, not creasing all the way. Because what we're going to do now is we round the tank body. We create the shape of the tank body. These creases here. And this is going to be more or less your taste. So as we are forming the tank body, again, this is one of those very much to taste folds, how much you want the body. If you want it to be a really squat tank, you can make these folds be very severe, and it will be a very shallow tank, or you can make them stand up. Again, it's all your taste. Now, the creases that we made for the front of the tank, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to pull it down, and you can see how it's starting to form that point here. I just pinch it here, and the reason why I didn't have you guys fold the crease all the way is because I like to have this part of the tank be more rounded. If you wanted to put a hard crease in there, you could, but I think it looks better if you just pinch this part here, but you let the rest of this sort of form itself. Again, that's totally up to your taste. But as you can see, we're getting the body of the tank fairly well formed out. And just work it until it's how you like it to look. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take these sort of wings of the top of the turret and just fold them down. Again, do the same thing over here. And fold them down. As you can see, I'm folding the body of the tank so I can just fold them around it, and then easily just pop the body of the tank back to where I had it. And now here is where you're just going to round the tank barrel. There's no real swift and easy way to do that. One thing I do is I just take the tank barrel, kind of fold it in half like that, and then just kind of round it by brute force, like this. But again, that's totally however you want your tank barrel to look. And then kind of put everything back into the order that you want it in. And you can sort of get in the back here and see, this is the sink fold that you did. What you're going to do is you're going to take these corners and you're going to push them out like that, and then fold this back down. That does a couple things. One is that helps give dimension to the tank turret, because it'll pop it up a little bit. And then you can form the turret shape how you want it, and you can also twist the tank turret a little bit from side to side depending upon how you want it to look. You can actually twist it pretty far, like that. And then of course you can have tanks. This is from a $2 bill. Makes it have a nice kind of camouflage, and then you can bring in your other little tank and have a little tank battle.